Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Saturday the 1st of September 2018 and we're providing our gold and silver weekly update for the week ending the 31st of August. Now before we move into our update, we would like to draw your attention to an ebook we came across that we believe would be very useful, especially for those of you interested in Bitcoin. It's practically a beginner's guide and it costs just $10 and is instantly downloadable. And with it, you'll receive 2 additional ebooks entitled Passive Income, Achieving Financial Freedom and Design Your Dream Life Starting Now. Now it is a bit salesy, but it's also an incredibly simple guide and is excellent at showing what Bitcoin is, how it works, the Bitcoin wallet, how to obtain your first coin, and a wealth of additional information. The ebook is entitled Bitcoin, What Is It? Your Definitive Guide to Bitcoin Wealth, and can be found by typing the following link into your search bar or clicking on the link below this video. The link is https:// that's bit.ly/2wy1z5m. It's showing on the screen as I say these words. For $10, we believe it's a no-brainer, and we certainly found it useful. Once again, in the interest of transparency, if you use our link, then we will receive a small commission for the referral. All monies received are automatically fed back into our channel. Anyway, back to our update. Gold fell $4 last week from $1,205 to $1,201, having hit a high of $1,214 and a low of $1,197. In sterling terms, gold finished the week down £12 to £926, reversing the previous week's gain. And in euros, it closed at €1,035, down just €2. Silver fell 29 cents, from $14.82 to $14.53, having hit a high of $15 and a low of $14.50. In sterling terms, it closed at £11.21. That's down 32 pence. And in euros, it closed at €12.52. That's down 0.23 euros. The gold to silver ratio rose yet another week from 81.3 to 1 to 82.65 to 1. The Dow Jones closed on Friday at 25,964, down 22 points on the day, but up 174 points on the week. And the Nasdaq closed at 8,109, up 21 points on the day and up 164 points on the week. Brent crude rose $1.82 from $75.82 to $77.64, and US light crude rose $1.08 from $68.72 to $69.80. The dollar index stands at 95.14. That's unchanged for the week. Last week saw gold vacillate within a $17 range, between $1,214 and $1,197. As we predicted last week, gold initially rose, but we must admit did not hold on to those gains, which we thought it might, at least for a week or so, and fell back ultimately late on Friday, ending the week down $4. Analysts view this market as very soft and see $1,200 as a major support level. Technical traders believe that should gold reach $1,215, we may see a sharp but small rise. But if it falls below and holds, then $1,100 gold is in sight. The one thing all traders agree, and as we have preached for months, is that it's still all about the US dollar. And although it did not change last week, like gold, we saw some gyrations. And we need to remind ourselves from time to time that certainly short term, gold is especially sensitive, as it is one of the first places that traders will go to sell if the greenback rises. Now, at the risk of preaching to the converted or repeating ourselves, we wish to emphasize again that the US dollar continues to be one of the strongest currencies in the world overall, and that continues to weigh upon emerging markets. As one analyst said, quote, "This in turn can cause a lot of gold selling, as emerging markets tend to be much more sensitive to these moves and will often sell gold to prop up the local currency." Beyond that, gold is priced in US dollars, so as the US dollar flexes its muscles, it makes sense that we would continue to see gold struggle. Unquote. Silver markets fell again during the week, with the $14.50 level being continually tested. This is a market that has been sold off relentlessly as the US dollar has been strengthening. Though we did see silver, albeit for a brief moment, touch $15. The $14.50 level has been support on a number of occasions, and if prices break below here, then $14 is the next major support to be encountered. On the other side of the coin, analysts believe that if that $15 resistance is breached, then prices will rise rapidly to $15.50 and possibly then slowly up to the $17 level. However, this is exceedingly unlikely unless dollar strength is adversely affected. So what news is likely to affect gold and silver prices this coming week? Well, Monday is Labor Day holiday, but on Tuesday we shall see a number of reports, including Market Manufacturing PMI for August, ISM Manufacturing Index for August, construction spending for July, and motor vehicle sales for August. On Wednesday, the trade deficit for July, which, as we all know, is of particular importance to President Trump. On Thursday, Q2 productivity, Q2 unit labour costs, market services PMI for August, and factory orders for July. And on Friday, and arguably most important of all for the week, non-farm payrolls for August and the unemployment and average hourly earnings for August. So we have a packed week of data and reports, all of which can influence traders, the dollar value, and of course, important to us all, the price of gold and silver. We believe the data generally will show that the US is in quite robust, good economic health, with unemployment at very low levels and possibly a small but rising average earnings data. If we are right, then we can foresee a further dollar strengthening, if only because it makes Fed interest rate rises more likely. Of course, if we're wrong, the opposite will occur. Our general contention, though, is that the figures will be good. On that basis, we probably would not recommend anyone trade the paper markets this week unless they have a gambler's instinct. But the purchasing of physical for the long term, and we re-emphasize for the long term, represents reasonable value at these levels. However, for those who follow him closely, Jim Rogers will still not be purchasing gold until it falls below $1,000 an ounce. Is he right? Will gold fall to that level? It's even lower than our forecasts. What's your opinion? We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on Twitter. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe as a free member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.